it's time to talk a little bit about what's been going on in Germany very recently, because I think it's probably quite vital that we give a little airtime to it. Now, I've said before, we are, of course, a channel that predominantly does British politics, but from time to time, we will have a look at what's happening abroad. I also do stuff with Graham on Geoscope as well. I think we'll be having a talk about it as well this Tuesday or this Tuesday gone as well. But I think this is kind of important to really highlight, because recently the ADF has been in a bit of a trouble. If you don't know what that is the alternative for Germany, or at least alternative for Deutschland. So hence why it's the AfD. But these, you know, another far right group saying how wonderful it would be if we were in power. Look at all this chaos, all this madness. Liberalism has failed. The left is just, lunatics doing all this wokeness. We are the only true people. The conservatives don't even bother listening to them because they aren't even true conservatives. We've seen this before play out again and again and again in so many different countries. And the ADF is just another right wing grifter party who thinks that if they get in power, that's it. Germany's on the up. But here's the thing. History has shown time and time again, from what happened in Poland to what's been going on in Hungary, to look at Italy, just in its constant revolving of far-right governments, until they've got to a point where they've elected the granddaughter of Mussolini because, as she has said, all those past nationalist parties, they weren't true nationalists, they weren't true conservatives. So, before we get talking to more about what's been going on in Germany, and of course more about what the ADF leader recently said, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off link called Buy Me Coffee, Wake You Well, Buy Me Coffee. And of course, as always, there is the Pony Club down below and the YouTube thank you button as well. So thank you very much to everyone who does help support the channel. Even if you do, just click on the like and share button. Every little bit helps. So let's get on with this today. So what's been going on in Germany? And why, for example, did we see mass protests against the ADF in Germany very recently, going as so far to call the organization to be outright banned? Now, bear in mind, this has been a voice that has been growing for quite some time, warning about just how far right the ADF are, and people warning them, saying, no, you've got to be really careful of these people because they're not being open and honest and telling you about what they would really do if they got in power. This is, of course, exactly what a certain other, shall we say, former German government got accused of as well, and said, "What? Oh no, we're not going to be get in power. We're not going to do all this stuff. No, just ignore what's going on." So again, I think the Germans are very wise to what's really going on, but of course, it is worrying that, of course, the ADF would have such a growing following. Now, will this growth continue? I very much doubt it. You have seen in the past some of these parties grow to a certain amount and then not be able to sustain that. And in the case that they did ever actually get into power, you would see them fall very, very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. There has not been a far-right party that has got into power and then gone on to achieve the magnificent dream and vision of the country that they have continuously promised. Again, look what happened in Poland. The Peace and Justice Party booted out after all this time, with Donald Tusk getting massive approval ratings for going and reversing many of the some of the crazy stuff that the Peace and Justice Party went. Look at Hungary, where Viktor Orban went from being this again, this far right populist defeater of communists, authoritarian, to becoming a right wing authoritarian himself. Destroying independent Hungarian media, getting rid of anything that might oppose him in those regards. And then, as we said, just look at Italy, just constant revolving right wing populist government, blaming the last one for not being far right or nationalist enough. Until, as we've said, you get to the point where you get to Benito Mussolini's granddaughter. So it's the same story for every single one of these parties. Until they get in power, until they fail, then people really see from what they are that they're just absolute lunatics who really couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery, as we say in the UK. I don't know if that translates to German or not, but hey, we'll see. Then, of course, they were recently caught out. As we said, like say, why were these protests there? Well, because they were caught out. Because they were having secret meetings and saying what their true deportation agenda was, their master plan when it came to immigration, that when we get into power, we are just going to deport everyone. And not just, and they do mean it when they say everyone, even people who have obtained German citizenship. Sorry, deportation. And there is going to be a mass deportation. This is what they are talking about. This is apparently how you solve the problem of immigration. You just deport everyone, and somehow that's fine. That's not because that's not going to affect the economy at all, is it? And of course, the people of Germany have responded very, very negatively to this, calling for the party to be banned, and that is now growing. That is now steadily growing. The idea that this party should be completely banished and gotten rid of because it has finally exposed itself for its far right roots and what it would indeed intend to do. So, in an attempt to try and get attention away from this deportation master plan revelation, the ADF leader came out recently and said, well, I'll tell you what we need to do. What Germany needs is a Dexit, or as we know, why Dexit? Because of course, Germany in their language starts with a D for Deutschland, so you get Dexit. A complete and absolute removal of Germany from the European Union. Would this work? I don't know. You can only look at the polls of favorability from the EU. They are in 73, 74%, I think. The last time I saw them, I'm sure someone will say what it is now at the moment, but yeah, it ain't gonna happen. All this is an attempt to try and draw away attention, and of course, try and attract some more right-wing votes that you don't understand. We need our own version. We need to leave the European Union as well because, yeah, guys, it went really well for us here, considering now that when we put on imports checks, they're about to enter, well, in a week from today, we are looking at having mass supermarket shortages. Brexit. So, yeah, if this ever does end up happening, guys, myself and I'm sure others from the UK would love to come over to Germany and tell you exactly what has happened to our country since the Brexit vote, because I'm sure the German people look at and laugh at what's going on, but trust me, guys, when they say that they are serious about doing this, if they ever got in a position to do it, they would do it. So this isn't a position where you've got to take them seriously. They would do it. And if that does happen, then you've got to make sure you mobilize yourselves, you get out and you vote to remain in the EU, because you do not want what happened to your country to what happened to the UK. Yeah, it just means it ain't been good. And especially when you would probably have people like the ADF probably in charge of it as well. Again, There is a reason why all the Brexiteers, when they finally got Brexit, have all literally run away or failed so spectacularly that you had Jacob Rees-Mogg trying to ask the people of the UK what he should do for his job. And yet he's meant to have been one of these people campaigning for Brexit all this time, but has absolutely no ideas now what to do. He's finally, the dog that's caught his tail, finally caught it, what to do with it. So yeah, just a little update on what's been going on in Germany. But yes, I hope you've sort of enjoyed that. But of course, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.